Hello, hello, welcome back. My name's Deb. I like to share the human experience, help others with their human experience. And yesterday's video, I kind of went over 2.5 of 7 little stages of awakening, if you will. Some little, yeah, it was just something I was just doing while journaling. I only wanted to think of 3. I ended up with 7. Yesterday we went over 2.5. I only went over that half because that half is part of a whole, but that whole is kind of ties into the third one. The 2 and 3 kind of like are same, right? So what am I actually talking about? Well, this channel is called Awaken with Deb, right? And we talk about the human experience here. Mostly I have when I went through life feeling like it was a struggle. I went through life feeling like a victim. I went through life feeling like I am so amazing and I do everything so perfect and everyone else is the problem and not possibly me. And yet my life sucked, but also my life was amazing. Like this place is a place of duality. And I definitely have spent time in experiencing duality. And it really is. There is no good, there is no bad. Anything that you try to label as positive or negative, you can instantly flip. Anything that you try to state as an absolute fact, you can really find some way to flip it on the duality side of it, because that's literally the rules of the physics that we live in this place. With that said, recapping from yesterday, so I was kind of just wanting, trying to streamline how I can help people. Like, what are problems? What are solutions? How can I take my decades of knowledge, experience, education, and research from clients, like that's the experiential research that you can't learn at a university. And I just wanted at least just 3 simple things. Well, I came up with 7. And the first 2 that we went over yesterday were kind of, and these are just like light categories, and they're also not linear. Just one moment. Okay, so also not linear. Everything's cyclical. You can be at one stage, jump to a different one, skip some in between. You can revisit some as you revisit lessons with a new pair of eyes. Those are all things. And yesterday's we talked about being new and unaware. Like you're this is Awaken with Deb. So we're awakening to the fact that there's more of life. We're awakening out of the matrix. We're awakening into a higher consciousness. We're awakening into the sense that we have control, and we're becoming aware that our choices mean something. And that awareness comes from a new experience, a new aha moment, a new vacation, a new thrill ride that you've never been on before, a new creative moment, a new business venture. There's something, some catalyst that has sparked your interest for you to become aware of the possibilities, and that the possibilities really are endless. So then it starts you on this rabbit hole. So then you get excited. That's step number 2. You get excited and you begin to heal, right? So you start being mindful of your food. You start being mindful of your physical body. You start being mindful of your mental diet. What are you watching? What are you scrolling through? Who are you following on Instagram? What drama do you not need to be a part of? How many politics are unnecessarily taking up your life because it's just an argumentative battle on Facebook and not actually creating good in real life? Sorry, my face is really itchy today, and it seems to happen. So I was researching makeup, and I learned that some makeup has a specific chemical in it that will re- reflect light differently. And I almost wonder if when I turn this light on, if that actually creates like a chemical reaction and makes it like an allergic reaction, right? I went almost 10 years of no chemicals, like no makeup, all like lotions, shampoo, all that stuff was as natural as you could get, if not completely homemade. Anyways, side tangents. But yes, like I went through, a healed and excited part of life. And I did. I cut out, you start paying attention to the foods that you're eating. You're cutting out chemicals. You start paying attention to the chemicals that are in your household goods. You start paying attention to, like, you're putting makeup and lotion on your, like, your organ is your largest body, or the skin is the largest organ on your body, and we are slathering chemicals on it on a daily basis between lotions and sunscreens and whatever else. There's a lot of things, right? And so through that step two, you're getting healed, you're becoming excited, and through that, where we ended off yesterday was that that's going to lead towards detoxing. So while you're excited and healing, remember that detoxing comes next, and you want to be building roots. Take a drink of my coffee for a moment. Okay. So you're healing, you're getting excited, you're thinking you're forever done with suffering. Well, guess what? You're not forever done with suffering. So build those roots, build your values, build your disciplines, build your good habits, because you're going to need it when you come to the next step, which is, I think yesterday, it's like the depression, it's the dark and wild. However, it can either be like a wild as in drugs, alcohol, partying, escapism, adrenaline, or it could be isolation and more of like a desert season. And there's two different desert seasons. There's like a depressive desert season, and there's a wisdom building desert season. We're talking about the depressive desert season here. So this is one where um, so I mean, yeah, this is like 2 and 3. So you have the wild and lost, which is like where you don't care to the point where you want to try anything and everything, right? It's almost like you're taking all the risks because you're about to give up. So why not? You take all the risks. But then you also have the hopeful and lost, where you're done taking risks. Like, that's why it's step 4 and not step 3. But again, everything's cyclical, nothing's linear. You can bounce around. Think of it as a mind map instead of like a timeline. And so when you're in it alone, you're hopeful and you're hopeless and lost. Like, you don't know what the purpose is anymore. Those taking risks didn't get you anywhere, except, I mean, yeah, you didn't get any, you didn't grow. You learned you can survive taking risks. That's the key part. You learn that you can survive taking key risks. And you learn that you can reach bottom and keep going. But you might reach a sense of apathy. I've kind of fluttered through those last 30 seconds because I was trying to remember the word apathy. Apathy is, yeah, so it's like you reach a state of hopelessness and lost because you don't have a sense of purpose. You don't know where you're going forward. The wild and crazy and darkness time, where you're like taking risks, you're partying, you're doing drugs, alcohol, you almost you almost want to experience all that because you're just so desperate to feel such an intense experience that you're excited to feel those experiences. You just don't realize the darkness that surrounds it until you kind of step back and become aware, or something catastrophic happens, or you, with years pass and you realize you haven't grown anywhere, or that you've gone backwards, but you're never actually going backwards. Keep that in mind also. That's for a different story. So you have those two things. And so when you're in the dark of the wild, make sure you reference the previous two. Remember what it was like before you were aware. Remember what it was like when you were a robot. And even though you're going through darkness and pain, remember, if you didn't escape the matrix, you wouldn't know that pain. And that pain's a gift because it's going to make you stronger. It's joy has a certain amount of bandwidth that is required, and it takes a big vessel to hold that. And through holding depression, you kind of get a taste of what it feels like to hold such expansive energy while like not knowing what to do with it, right? So that's kind of depression. So you just allow it. Do what you can to stay safe. Don't give up. Just don't give up. Don't give up. Remember that you're detoxing, you're shedding everything. In the last video, we talked about the new and aware stage where you're shedding old programming. Well, the darkness and the depression is a detox. You're still shedding things, except now the excitement has worn off, right? This is the post honeymoon stage. The excitement of awakening is worn off, and now you got to deal with all the shame and the trauma that's been repressed, the childhood memories, you're now releasing the program from childhood and realizing what's there, what's underneath, who am I? And then mostly remember that too will pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. If you're in a darkness, this too shall pass. And although we want to move through it because we're trained to think of progress and evolution, don't rush this moment. It will pass. But don't let it pass without remembering what it's like to go through it. Because that's how we end up having to repeat lessons. So it's kind of like, you ever worked on a project with a group of people and some people just rush through to get it done, and some people take their time and do it with pride and integrity. And if you were to ask them, they're like, well, I've been through this before and I want to do it right the first time, so I'm taking my extra time to make sure that I do it right the first time. It's kind of like that. You don't want to rush these depression moments of life. You want to get it right the first time. So to sum up that one, remember the roots that you built from the previous steps of being healed and excited. Remember to congratulate yourself for exiting the matrix and putting yourself in a position to be able to experience this darkness and depression. And as far as the hopelessness and lost one, that's where we're going to start asking, where's our place? What's our purpose? So if you can survive the dark night of the soul, this is number 3 then. So if you can survive the dark night of the soul, the depression, if you can make it out safely, I'm going to take a drink of my coffee and a deep breath for those that have not made it out safely. This is why I share. This journey started in 2016 was when I was able to quit my job and move to the countryside and have everything paid for and focus on awakening and family and homesteading. And it was my dream come true. I made it. I won. And that's why you should listen to me. No, you should listen to me because I won and I was engaged and I had a puppy and a kitty and life with my son, and it was wonderful. And a wonderful man. I still haven't met a man that's not true. I've met one man since him that I would, yeah, and that's probably not a thing. Anyways, that was 2016. Having won everything, 2017 brought me to a spiritual awakening. Excuse me. Okay. Sorry, I don't edit things. One more. Everything's really itchy on my face right now. And then the tears. Okay. I just had so many thoughts come up right there. What is, I feel like I have a hair, cat hair. I don't know. The healed and exciting part of life was really exciting. And it was really healing, and it was fun, and it was exciting, and I met a lot of people and a lot of connections, and it was really great. And then I went through the dark night of the depression, and I made it out, and it was amazing. And I almost didn't make it out, and it was still kind of lingering. Like, even well, it's mine started in 2020, and even up till last year I was still like in it, right? And last year was when I started like really finding God so I could do make a change. I don't know, thought I'd give it a shot, and here we are. But since that time, I have made a lot of really great connections with people, and many of those people are no longer with us. Dozens, in fact, for different reasons. Some accidents, some some due to adventure, some due to complete freak accidents, some due to them taking their own life, some to illness. It's all over the board, right? But it's dozens. And that takes a toll on a person. That really makes you start to question life, or you don't. Some people are able to just continue on with their passions and move on with life, but I, for some reason, I'm super like I process this differently. So here we are. If you make it out alone, you'll out of the darkness of the soul, you come out of the low vibration and kind of reach neutrality. You reach apathy, you reach neutrality, and that's where you start to ask, like, okay, where is my place? What is my purpose? What is my future? What am I doing here? Where am I going? And who am I? And what's important to you? And that's step 3, right? What's important to you? Where are you going? Who are you? What type of foundation do you want to be built on? Right? So step 2 of being excited and healed, and step 1, you're like, oh, new and aware. Step 2, being healed and excited. And then step 3 is all the detoxing. Step 4, all the detoxing's kind of done. Things are starting to settle. A lot of the murkiness is out, and the water's starting to get a little clearer. And so you start asking the questions. And that's where you do a lot of work. A lot of work. Where's your place? What's your purpose? And you're going to need these questions, because the next one is about community and serving and sharing lessons with others. It's about collaboration. It's about resilience and challenges. And so this step in being hopeful yet lost, don't rush this step either. It's another it's another one of those growth spurts of the roots, right? You just survived the depression. You have resilience now. You know that you can feel what it feels like to feel like you're getting ripped out from the inside out, and survive it, and still manage to come out of the storm. Smooth seas don't make a good sailor. Light, so I was thinking butterflies and rainbows don't make for a good light worker. Darkness makes for a good light worker. So I covered that 2 and 3. I'm going to end the video there. We'll go over some more tomorrow. I put series of 3 videos. I don't know how many videos this will take. This might take more than 3 videos, but we're going to end it there. My live yesterday, it still won't upload or download. I don't know. That video might be gone and lost forever. We'll see if it ends up uploading on its own magically today. So I wanted to do some more engagement with videos. And so I did, for a 7-day time frame. I was going to meet for 7 days at 7 p.m. my time, and for 7 minutes, because I need a time frame in case no one shows up. I need to know when to bounce, and you guys need to know when to expect me to bounce and not be there. So I think today is day 7. Yesterday was day 6. You'll see the title of the video if you can see it. If you click on it, it doesn't work. Yep, doesn't work. My bad. Not sure what to do for that there. And that's also why I try to keep the lives about 20 to 30 minutes, because anytime they go over that, then I do have problems with uploading. So 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, that's 2 hours behind New York, 1 hour ahead of California. If you're on the other side of the world, it's about 8 hours behind Europe. So there's that. I definitely already have a worldwide audience, and yeah, so I'd love to have you show up with the good vibes. It's an open Q&A. Yes, I have topics I can kind of talk about, but like that's what these videos are for. These videos are for my topics. I want to use the 777 sessions for Q&A, right? Like active interaction, because that's what we're here for. So, my name's Deb. I'm here sharing the human experience to help others with their human experience. I really do believe that collectively there's a lot of energy happening. There's a lot of physical change on Earth. There's a lot of political change in the paradigm of control. And we're here and headed for a new Earth. New Earth is already here. You already have the choice. If you are here, if you're watching these videos, you're past the new and aware stage. You are here, you are aware, and you are ready to do something about it. You have feelings inside of you that you are here to do more, that you are here to guide and to lead and to make a change, whatever way that is. Maybe that doesn't mean leaving your 9 to 5 job, but maybe that just means visualizing how that 9 to 5 job is done, right? Maybe we can recreate a new world from the inside out. When we're going through that dark night of the soul and we have to learn how to calm that storm from the inside out, let's do that with society. Let's try to calm the storm from the inside out. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be done, but it's got to be done because it's a vision that I've held since a child. Is that like I didn't want to bring children in this world because this world is not the greatest place to be in. And then I learned that like people choose, the souls get to choose. So I was able to release the guilt on that. But nonetheless, there's people out there hurting and they don't, you know, yes, everyone is here to learn on their own lesson and their own path, but also there's like a lot of stuff that we can just change. We have the power to. I'm tired of seeing children hurt because I see it a lot personally. I've had children that aren't mine live with me for extended amounts of time. It's, we can do better as a society. Let's create a world that doesn't create broken humans. Okay? So, click like, subscribe, all those wonderful things. Comment below if any of this resonated with you. If you are feeling stoked on these 7 stages of awakening, then great. Tune in for more daily videos popping up. Much love.